What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today this is gonna be a little bit of a fun theory crafting type video. For those of you who really enjoy it, stay tuned because, well, because of the whole global boss kind of not controversy, but like the whole competition, the contest, it really had me thinking, and I actually started sharing some of these ideas with the community management team that might actually have something in the future that could be cool. And that is there's one specific like power mode that we've just kind of let die by the wayside, and that is monsters. We haven't got a monster since Nemean the Lion, which I think was like anniversary 2 years ago or something like that. I'm hoping we see something soon, and I just kind of want to talk about it because I'm sure a lot of us have our monsters done and are just sitting on a ton of resources. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. It's going to be a little bit of a theory craft video for you guys, not any news, anything like that. Let's jump right into it. So it's really that Fallen Fenrir that really got me thinking, and that is monsters. We have not touched our monsters in forever. Like legitimately, we've even had things like additional guild tech more recently than we've had an additional power structure on monsters. Well, it might have been about the same time, because if you guys remember, way back in the day, these monsters used to cap out at level 120, and there were no such thing as rune enhancements, so you're missing out on this speed and a bunch of fixed stats. However, you did have these nice percentage based stats and just raw stats that could be multiplied by modifiers. We also had these special abilities coming in at higher levels, giving additional things. Like, it was a really nice update when we did get a monster update. 3 million monster stones later, we just don't have anything. If you guys remember, the two newest monsters coming to the game was Nemean, which I believe was honestly at like the 4th anniversary or something. What are we coming up on, the 6th or the 7th anniversary of the games? Let me actually take a look. Idle Heroes release date. Idle Heroes release date was June of 2016. So yeah, we're about to come up to the 7th anniversary coming up here in June. That is absolutely insane. I would not have thought that was actually a thing, but we're probably going for a decade, honestly, in Idle Heroes. I wouldn't be surprised if Idle Heroes is one of those forever games that kind of just stays around forever so long as it's profitable. So yeah, it must have been the 5th anniversary that we got Nemean. He was a really cool one because he just has so many things on his stats, giving damage reduction, holy damage. He gives a shield versus previously, if you wanted a defensive monster, you went with Deer, but the heal a lot of times was just overheal and it didn't do enough for you. So Nemean was a nice little change. Even before that, I think it was like 1 or 2 years, so either 3rd or 4th anniversary, the Phoenix came out, which literally just became the go-to monster. So at the very least, I'm really hoping we get another monster, because as you can see, we literally have every single monster maxed out on this account. I would be surprised if anything isn't fully maxed out at this point, with max runes and everything. And so many of these monsters just go unused. Like Sphinx back in the day used to be like the go-to PvP monster, mainly because the fact that you can reduce armor and speed of the enemy. Back then, 37 speed was a big deal. That was like, yeah, that was back when even like one Rogan on your team was a huge game changer, giving 20 additional speed, because, well, we didn't have all these different things in the game. Like, main one right here is the Soul Awakenings, the additional speed you get from here. There's just so many things that tweak your speed nowadays that it's really hard to tell if you're going to be faster than the enemy. But back in the day, everybody was the same speed, depending on if you had a Rui Scepter or an AMB, and that was about it. That was like pretty much it. Sometimes you even use like Tread of Fate or something like that, like the Fortress ones and stuff. But this was a really strong monster. Fox was always kind of hit or miss. Snake used to be kind of bad back in the day because there wasn't really a great poison synergy. Dragon was actually one of the most powerful back in the day. The ability to just stack holy damage, the ability to have a chance to stun the enemy in PvP was amazing. Plus, he looked really cool. And then, of course, we get to some of these that are older, like Apparition. This was like the go-to monster before Phoenix came out. for Mim Cheese teams. A lot of you guys probably don't even know what Mim Cheese at this, like what it is. It was like you had 2 Mims, 2 9-star Abyss Destroyers, and like 2 Karmas. No, my brain's not working. Aidens, there we go. Aidens for the on-death damage. The whole point was for the Aidens and Destroyers to do a ton of like damage when they die and buff up your Mims, and then Mims just did some crazy end of round damage and stuff when allies die. So it was a really cool thing, and Apparition was useful. Now somewhat, not so much. And then we had Stone Golem. This one's really just never been used except for our Petrify meme team. If you've never checked out our Petrify meme team series, literally it's like a 4-year-old series at this point. Go check it out. It was a really cool account. We spent on it, so we got some good progression. But we mained heroes like Karma and Jara back in the day, and it was pretty fun. And besides that, nothing else has been iterated on these heroes or on these monsters. So what I would love to see is another way to use more of these resources to continue leveling them up and have a 4th like enhancement system. Now what I was thinking, mainly because of that one that Fallen Fenrir, what if, just what if, this is where the real theory crafting comes in. What if, because you know we have the void and everything, the void actually touched the monsters beyond just the heroes? And what if we got like a not like we don't transcend them. What if we got like a new resource from like Void Campaign or something like that where we corrupt them? So we turn them into like the dark version of themselves, still as an ally, still as a hero, like something you put on your team, but actually something that does something. Because you know, we have this thing up here in the Galactic Tree. When you max it out, you're doing 1422% additional monster damage. That still equates to absolutely nothing nowadays. Like zilch, nada, zip. And honestly, this could be another way to monetize the game even further for power upgrades. Stop power upgrading our heroes, instead power upgrade our teams. Where, you know, if you do corrupt Niederhog the dragon, you get additional rune enhancements, and then maybe like you collect it passively through the Void Campaign, or you can get chests, much like Sublimation chests, but Sublimation for a monster. But as like your levels, you still use monster stones. For the root enhancements and stuff like that, you still use the chaos stones, something like that to power it up. Because if we could get like a corrupted version of these monsters that actually could deal damage too, because like, I mean, as you guys know, no matter what game mode you're in and what you're doing, you throw a hero in, like you just do any type of battle here. Good lord, we don't even have any to like do anymore. We can't even like challenge anything anymore. It feels like we got nothing left here. But even like when you throw a hero in, a monster in, and you do like all this stuff, and then you check like the end of game report, like the damage down here is just, it's piddly. It's so small, and that's with 1422% additional damage. So that's just my personal opinion. What do you guys think? Leave some feedback down below, because it does sound like the community manager's like, yeah, it's kind of maybe on the radar for developers this year to do something with monsters. And I just think that would be a really cool system to implement. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. I'll see you guys next time.